Well, hey there YouTube. So I did something really cool to my Sportster 1200. I talked about it in one of my other videos, and now I've done it. I put on a new speedometer. Speedometer! Look at that beauty. That's not the coolest thing. Anybody can put on a speedometer. What I've done is added a fuel gauge to my bike. As everybody knows, Sportsters, for whatever reason at Harley, does not come with a fuel gauge. And what you have to do is buy a kit. And right up inside here is a little thing that I had to put in my gas tank. And I'll put pictures up right now. So you got to see the pictures. That's just a couple weeks ago when I took my gas tank apart, and it was great. Wasn't too hard. Something that you can do in your garage like I did. So this is going to be a review of the Harley Davidson Combo Digital Speedometer. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, I'll get my bike started up and then we'll go for a ride. So here's the speedometer. Right here I've got my miles per hour. I've got a trip A, a trip B, remaining fuel miles, so I have 148 miles left in my tank. There's my time, my odometer, and then back to my trip A. Here's my fuel gauge. I just topped it off before I left, so it gives me 4 bars out of 4. And then over here, when I'm moving, it has my gear that I'm in. Here is my RPM range. And the neat thing about this speedometer is that I can change the colors of this LED part. I can change the colors of this, the numbers, and I can change a different color of this, the tack. So that's really cool. So I have it set up to where this part's green, this part's blue, and this part's red at nighttime, and then during the day, this is kind of whitish. And this is a different color. When I get back home, I'll put it in the garage and turn lights off so you can see this part. Installation was pretty easy. I had to install the fuel sensor inside my gas tank, and to do that I had to remove the fuel pump assembly. That was the most difficult part of the installation of that sensor, because it is a very tight fit. I had to widget around with the removing that assembly for a good 15 minutes before I got it out. But once you get it out, it's just a couple of changes on the parts and adding the cable or adding the fuel sensor. Not terribly complex at all. I have to say though that the most difficult part of all of it, or the most tedious part, was finding out where that bloomin' resistor was on step 8. If you look into doing this yourself, every website that I went to and every forum that I went to all had the sensor underneath the seat, and the instructions had it underneath the seat. But apparently in 2013, Harley changed the placement of that resistor that makes the fuel gauge work properly. And I could not find it. It took me over an hour of trying to find that dumb thing. Oh man, it was crazy. I was so frustrated. And it was on a Sunday when Harley was closed because they're in their holiday hour, or their winter hours. I didn't want to have to wait until Tuesday when they opened back up to call them up and ask for help. So I kept working at it, searching my bike with a flashlight, and I finally found it. And you should have seen it in the picture that I posted just a little bit ago. So if you have a 2013 or higher Sportster, then that's where it's going to be at. So hopefully that helps you out. But overall, I'm very satisfied with what I did. I could have gotten a cheaper way of doing it and bought the little light assembly that goes on top of your brake cylinder or your brake reservoir, and that would have saved me about $150. But I knew I would have regretted not getting the actual speedometer itself, and I didn't want to have to take on that regret. I want to enjoy my bike and not go, oh man, I wish I did that. In total, from buying it myself, which I just went to harley.com and bought it through their online store, the speedometer and the fuel sensor ran me about $495. I did the installation myself. It took me about 3 hours, a little less than that, because I spent a long time trying to find that dumb resistor thing, and then I took some breaks here and there. But I highly recommend it. If you're wanting the fuel gauge to know how much gas you have left in your tank, it is well worth it. And like I said, the best part is I can go to my remaining miles and know that I have 147 miles left in my tank. That's really cool. I don't know why Harley doesn't add this stuff on their own, but I probably would have spent an extra $400 when I bought my bike if it came with that, just to have that option. But they don't do that, so it's the way it is. I'm going to cut this one short. I hope you enjoyed my little review of the digital speedometer attack. You guys stay safe out if you're on your bike, and we'll talk to you later.